Chiefs 44, 49ers 23. This Chiefs team is reminding me of the late 2000s, early 2010 Packers with when Aaron Rodgers was in his prime, where it didn't matter the down and distance, it didn't matter the situation. It just felt like no matter what situation this Chiefs team is in, if they're down three scores, if they're if it's 3rd and 20, they're gonna find a way to come back and win, or they're gonna convert on a 3rd and 20 no matter what happens. They just find ways to do it. This is looking like a team that is going. They are on a mission. They aren't. This might be the first time Patrick Mahomes has to go on the road in a playoff game. It doesn't look like they really care because they're going to find a way to convert a 3rd and 20. They can get down by however much. They find ways to come back because they're so explosive. And I made a bet with my boss that if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I have to get cornrows, and I don't want to get cornrows. And it's looking like I'm gonna have to. Like the Chiefs, I think the NFL is just gonna lay down for the Chiefs the rest of the year, and the Chiefs are gonna breeze through it. They're gonna win the rest of their games 49-17, and it's not gonna be close. And I'm gonna be going up on a podcast in February with cornrows. That's exactly how this season is gonna play out now.
Is this Zappy guy the second coming of Tom Brady?
Well, he might be taking over for an injured starter.
I mean, seriously, the dude just had an absolute dart down the left sideline for 40 yards after a turnover.
Dude, the guy threw for 62 touchdowns last year at Western Kentucky.
Like, he's freaking good.
But, wouldn't having to see Dylan get cornrows just like make your year almost, Ethan? Knowing how much
that would make me happy.
Knowing how much he would hate that, and not the fact that
he'd have to come to Minneapolis and see how that goes. It'd be fun.
But then the fact that he would have to sit back and let his boss know that, hey, you were right and I was wrong. We all know how much Dylan loves telling people he was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It scored. Well, because most of the time they are wrong. And the other part too is like I just can't get away from Chiefs fan because my boss is a Chiefs fan. Grant is a Chiefs fan. Our head coach, where I coach at, is a huge Chiefs fan. I just can't escape them. And I'm dumb enough to where I still open my mouth and have learned that I need to be talking bad about the Chiefs. But now I'm done. They've silenced me. It's very rare that I am speechless.
So two things.
I am speechless.
Two things. Well, three things. One, I'm glad you're speechless. Two, maybe since you're surrounded by Chiefs fans, maybe you just need to convert and say, sorry, Dallas, moving on, 12 of those guys. Or you just need to move to Kansas City. It's one of those three options.
Yeah, well, I do enjoy, of the little time I was there, I did enjoy my time in Kansas City. It is a phenomenal, very underrated city. And I wish I would have been able to spend more time there. We went down to a coach's clinic down there. But the food, fantastic. And there's just a lot going on there. I think they've got the Negro Leagues Museum. They've got, the draft is going to be there this year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some other, they've got like I think they have a Holocaust museum there or something, like a World War II museum.
Or is it World War I? I think it's World War I.
Or maybe that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, if I go back, I definitely want to check out the Negro League Museum or Hall of Fame. I have a Kansas City Monarchs hat. And I bought a Chiefs shirt when I went to Arrowhead. I was gonna buy you a AFC Champions shirt, but they were sold out this year when I went there.
Oh, they didn't. They were out on the shelf.
Yeah, the 2022, 2021 AFC Champions.
Well, here's the problem.
They didn't have any.
You were on the wrong continent, my guy.
Oh, I was? They didn't win last? Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. If you go to those poor kids in a different continent, they were wearing those shirts and they were pretty happy to get them with that. But So, like what I told you guys after week 2 of that Chargers game. You know what I love most about this team and Andy's teams? They don't flinch. They don't give up. You know, Niners go down first drive, good drive, they get the running game going. Garoppolo didn't have much pressure early, but you know what they do? They hold them to a field goal. You know, Chiefs first drive, third down pass. Patrick tries to get it to Sky Moore. Defender makes a good play on the ball. It's tipped, and is it Hyunga? Is that how you say his name? Number 29, the USC kid for the Niners. He makes a heck of a play and breaks on the ball. Well, the Niners go down, get a touchdown, and it's down. You're down 10-0, and it's like, well, one, maybe it's just required whenever these two teams play that someone needs to be down 10-0. And the second
down 10 points.
Or down 10 points. And the second score is a direct reflection off of an interception. I think it just must be written in the stars. But you know, this team, they just don't back down. And they're not afraid of anybody. They stick to their game plan. They don't flinch. And it's exciting now to see especially these last 2 weeks. Like what I told you guys in August, with these new receivers, they're going to get things going. And if they can get things going with Juju and MVS yesterday, and you continue this running game, it's gonna line up to be a great year. And you know, talk about also a drastic difference from watching football on Saturday to Sunday. I mean, Saturday, you're sitting back, you're depressed, you feel like you're watching football from 1904. And then on Sunday, it's just a complete 180. It's just I'm speechless. I literally
a tear in your eye right now.
Well, I'm not gonna cry. They didn't. It's no Super Bowl victory. It's a nice week 7 win on the road when you're 5-2 going into the bye. But you know, it's innovative. They attack on offense, and you know what? When Spags said enough is enough, and they started bringing pressure on defense, they got to Garoppolo, and they caused, you know, that turnover at the end of the first half. After the muffed Sky Moore punt, and then you know the safety by Frank Clark there. Chris Jones got after it again. It was nice to have Willie Gay back. I mean, you look at the way this team's going, how they're still a little banged up going to this bye week. I mean, you know, let's roll into Tennessee on Sunday night against 2 weeks. Sorry, that game's in Arrowhead, but you know, I'm excited with the way this trajectory for this team's going this year.
Well, you should be, because they're winning the Super Bowl. It's just gonna happen. You can just say it right now. The Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl.
You know,
I think Dallas is.
You know what would be kind of funny? Call me crazy, guys. I'm not going to be this fan because you never do it before. But the Chiefs win a Super Bowl, you almost have to add to the quote unquote what that citizen called me in Fargo when he saw my tattoo, called me a criminal. If they win this one, it's almost like I got to get one like on there, but throw in all the Roman numerals 4, 54, and 57.
Yeah. Well, then you just have to keep adding to it if they win more, but
and that would be the goal.
Okay. Well, they're looking good. It might be unfortunate that we have to watch the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship game, but we got a long ways to go before that happens.
And also, hey, dude, Cincinnati is going to have something to say about that.
They look like they've they've taken their liquid IV, they've taken their Goodies hangover, they've been hydrating, they've had some Skyline chili to kind of soak up. Mm-hmm. They're drinking from the Super Bowl hangover, so yeah, they look like they're rolling right now.
One of these two teams is probably going to play the Bengals in the divisional round.
Yep.
So, you know, there's that team there in Southern Ohio. They're going to have still something to say about it too. And the Bengals still have to play the Bills and the Chiefs.
Yeah, they do. Yep, you're right.